Welcome, Oleg Tscheltzoff. Oleg, you are the co-founder and the CEO of Fotolia, and you've done a lot of other stuff before, internet-related stuff. So what is Fotolia for these who don't know Fotolia?
So Fotolia, normally in Germany at least, I mean, people should know Fotolia because we're the leading marketplace for stock photography. Mm-hmm. So it's a website where buyers can come and search for an image. It's like a Google for image, but the difference is that it's completely legal. So when you license an image, it will cost you a couple of euros, like between 1 and 10 euros. You will have all the right to use this image in your company, on your website, on a catalog, on a newsletter. And so I think we're quite popular in Germany. We have a couple of millions, in fact, of customers in Germany, and we're doing really, really well for that.
Did you get that idea to Fotolia, or was it where does it come from?
So the idea comes from by that time I was running my previous company called Amen, which is a web hosting company like you have One&One or Strato in Germany. My co-founder was working with me, and we saw that a lot of people were in needs of images to illustrate their websites. Okay. And in fact, in 2004, in these years, it was really, really crazy about websites. Every company needed a website, and they didn't know what to do to create the website and to have images to illustrate the website. Mm-hmm. So, and it was very expensive if you wanted to buy it, with a classical stock agency, and if you take the image from Google, it's not legal. So we had this idea of creating the marketplace, and also at the same time, I mean, the digital cameras got better and better quality. So everybody who is an amateur photographer could start, to create really, really professional and legal images, and they uploaded us to us, and then we put in place this moderation system to make sure that every image is perfectly legal and everything, and it opened the door, immediately to all these people initially who wanted to create websites. So due to my background in web hosting, I had contacts with all the biggest web hosting companies in Europe. In fact,
that helped a lot.
Yeah, it helped. So we did a deal with them, and they proposed to the customers, sometimes for free, and the marketplace started like this.
Okay, Fotolia was not the first project you've done. Amen was before, and before that you've done a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I did quite a few since 1994, in fact. So in the internet space, I created Amen before, who was a web hosting company, and before that, I was completely in different fields. I was a music producer in Russia. I organized like big events like Joe Cocker, ZZ Top, U2. Patricia Cass also, I was her producer in Russia, which is quite famous. She's French, but quite famous in Germany. And after that, I started a mail order company, like just by mail. You can order different things like diet products by mail, and a telecom company. Both of them, I mean, I sold also before entering the internet
world. Was that in Russia, the mail order company?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think? The times have changed a lot, and business models that work in the internet have changed. What do you think? What are the business models of the future? What would you invest in? Since you are also active as a business angel, what have you invested in?
I like businesses that change. I mean, that really give a service. I mean, to the customer and are a little bit disruptive. For example, Fotolia was disruptive in the sense that you could have access to tens of million images instantly, legally, and at a price like 100 times cheaper. So everything that disrupts, and gives service and is a better value, I mean, is of course very attractive. So, as an example, Skype, it's instantly, I mean, you were able through the computer to call people for free. I mean, huge value, for users. Like Van Privé or Brands for France. Again, brands that you can buy at 50% discount, which normally in a shop you can buy only once a year. Here it's every day. So such kind of businesses, of course, are very appealing, and I try to look to such things more than to what we call 2.0 companies. Yeah. So, for example, I wouldn't have invested in Facebook probably, which would have been a mistake, of course. But because you have really small chance to succeed, there were competition, and you need really, really, really strong execution at that time, and. So.
Do you think have times gotten harder for founders, or did it get easier?
Well, I think that we might be a little bit in a bubble. And the reason why is like entrepreneurs, even me, you know, start to invest more and more. And because everybody is investing, but at the end of the day, we don't see so many exits. So and a lot of fields are already taken, you know. So so it's becoming more and more difficult. But on the other side, if you have a great idea, I think that it can really fly faster because all the communication, the social, I mean, communication, the Twitters and Facebook enable, I mean, information and buzz, you know, virality to go faster. And a very good example is Groupon, for example, in the US, which was started like less than 2 years ago, and who was the fastest growth in the internet ever. Yeah. So I think that fewer companies will succeed, but the one who will succeed will grow faster than ever. Like in a couple of months, you can create a billion-dollar company potentially.
Which means that you mean more that you need more money to start, or would you also think that it's not necessarily more money?
Yeah, it's not necessarily money. It's about having the right product at the right time. I mean, and have a viral effect of it. And because you know, today in the conference we're speaking a lot about advertising, you know, and stuff like this. But at the end of the day, the best advertising is users. Yeah. And if you have many users, I mean, if you have word of mouth. You don't need advertising. It goes by itself, you know. And this is what we had with Fotolia, in fact, because all the buyers of images, you know, they're a little bit designers, and they go in forums and they talk to each other. And instead of spending, you know, millions of dollars in advertising, we had all our users, you know, who recommended ourselves. And you don't see it, you know, in the front of the web, but in the back, it does a huge work. And it's also very protective in the sense that new players who try to copy you, you know, they don't understand that they don't get the buzz, and they will try to spend millions, you know, online, and they will not have the same effect.
Okay. Like having started at 1994, what have you learned meanwhile? Which advice would you give to young founders?
Well, me, myself, when I started in '94, I started in countries where more difficult, there were no VCs, and I was in a field that is not internet. So, of course, I couldn't get any funding. I had to fund my business myself, and it learned me a lot in the sense that, of course, it cannot apply to every business, but if you can stay independent as much as you can, you know, and try to build a business model with negative working capital, in the sense that you get money first from the buyers before paying your suppliers.
Like the shopping clubs?
Shopping clubs, or even Fotolia, people buy credits, okay, you know, a little bit, and then once the image is purchased, we pay the photographers. Web hosting, the same, you know, people buy a subscription for 1 year, and we rent per month, so you get, you know, money, and with this money you can work, and you stay independent. And I think it's as long as you can stay independent is good, because VCs, you know, sometimes have very high expectations, can put you on not necessarily on the good track, maybe sometimes on good track, but not necessary. And still, the vision of the founder, I mean, is often the right vision. So.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for the interview, and I wish you a lot of success for the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.